Hello, everyone. I want to start off by first saying that I've been thinking a lot and I feel for our entire country as we're going through what we're going through right now. I want to know I stand with each and every one of you that are watching this today, and that I hope you're all taking care of yourselves in this really difficult, trying time. With that said, I am going to switch gears and focus on what we're here to talk about today, which is how major is your major? My name is Micah Human. My pronouns are he, him, his. I'm Assistant Director in ACES, which is the Academic Center for Exploratory Students, and Director of the Major Experience. So what are we doing today? What's the goal of this, right? We're just getting the conversation starting, developing this mindset. What are we talking about with all this exploratory lens? So what do I mean by exploratory lens? What I mean by this is that how we look through the world. How does looking through the world through this exploratory lens shape us and guide us, especially as we're going through college and beyond? We have four main goals we like to have every student come into University of Connecticut go through. Prepare to explore opportunities, enter a major, and then continue exploring. So continue exploring. That's easy, right? You should never stop exploring. That's the excitement in life, right? What problems need to be answered? How can you help answer those problems? How can you solve those problems? How do you fit into all this? That's exploring constantly. You should never stop exploring. Again, to me, that is the excitement of life. Enter major, obviously, that's something that everyone wants to do. Explore opportunities. We will talk more about that today, but one of the main ones is the major experience, which is something you all can use again, and I will share that with you more in a little bit. But prepare to explore. This is the toughest one to get people into, because if you're not open to exploration, then it doesn't matter what I say today. You're not going to care what I have to say, and you're going to say, nope, I'm still going to focus in on this one major and not look and explore other things. But my whole mindset here is that if you don't know all the majors we have at UConn, how do you know that you'd be picking the best one for you if you don't take the time to explore? I'm not saying you should switch the major that you're in right now or what you're interested in, but you should be open to the idea that maybe it's not the right thing for you, or just to see what else is out there before you make such an important decision. So if I could have you all prepare to explore today and be in that mindset, at least for these next 15 to 20 minutes, I would appreciate it. So again, I mentioned TME, the major experience. It's tme.uconn.edu. This is something that you all can use now, even if you're not a UConn student, to explore majors on our campus. It's a really good guide, and I find it really helpful. I'm always open to feedback as well from any of you if you think it could be improved. But take your time, look at it, and see what you think about it. So we're going to start this today by playing a game. This is how we're going to go through the presentation. So hopefully you're all ready to play this game. So let's look at majors and careers. Here's your first question. Which area of study makes up the majority of the top 10 most versatile majors? Social and behavioral sciences, things like sociology, anthropology, business, things like marketing, accounting, STEM, science, technology, engineering, mathematics, and then humanities, things like history and English. Okay, you all have your answers? Here's the answer. A. At least a couple of you got it right? I hope. Social and behavioral sciences is the answer. Again, this is the top 10 most versatile majors. So here's the list. This is from 2019 employed graduates from LinkedIn, where they researched and surveyed employed graduates. And this is what they found for the top 10 most versatile majors. Now, let me be very clear. These are not the top 10 best majors. If you're not interested in these majors, you're fine, right? The main reason I show this slide and ask this question is because from so many students, especially from your generation, come into saying they've got a major in STEM, again, that's science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, or they might as well give up. And I'm here to say that's just simply not true, right? So I show this slide to help break that myth down a little bit. Again, number 8, we do see a computer science major in here. Again, I'm not saying STEM are bad majors at all. I'm also not saying these are the best majors that you're seeing on this list. I'm simply saying that this is what they found to be the most versatile, and you can major in something besides STEM and still be successful. On average, college graduates are changing jobs every 2.8 years, and this again is from the 2018 U.S. Bureau of Labor and Statistics. So what this means is that how important that major was back several generations before just isn't that important now when you're changing your job almost every 3 years, or actually even earlier, less than that. And a lot of these are even career changes, meaning that you're not even doing anything that has to do with what you majored in anymore in college within 5 to 10 years after graduating. Here's the next question. What is most important to employers when hiring college graduates? High GPA, strong transferable skills, choice of a major, attractive earlobes. That's only in there because of me. I happen to get all my jobs that way. You all, I can't see your earlobes, but trust me, they're not as attractive as mine. You're going to have to rely on something else. Okay, do you have your answers? I think you all got this one right? Strong transferable skills. Okay, but what are transferable skills? A lot of times we compare these to technical skills. Sometimes transferable skills are called soft skills and technical skills are called hard skills. Here's what technical skills are. They're very specific, teachable skills that apply directly to a specific job, right? So they relate very much to that chosen field or job. Here's some examples of some technical skills. Ability to use software programs, right? Proficiency in a foreign language. Ability to operate specific tools. Again, these are all specific to certain jobs that you'd be doing. Transferable skills. These are skills and abilities that go across your entire lifespan. They're relevant across your entire lifespan, right? So how you are in school, how you are at home, how you are in your community, how you are as a global citizen as well. Here's some examples of transferable skills. Ability to work part of a team, right? So I want you to think about all those times that you get a group project and you make that grumbling sound like, oh, I don't like group projects, they suck, right? But why are we having you do this? We're strategically doing this because you're going to have to work with other people and you're going to have to figure out a way to get along with them to be the best that you can at your job. So this is why we're always making you work in those team and those group projects. Ability to communicate clearly and effectively is another one of the main transferable skills. Just to give you all an example, here's an email I received from a student. I highlighted the areas in here where you can see where the mistakes were. Now, why am I showing you this, right? I'm an advisor. So I have students that sent me this as my advisee. And you could be asking yourself, well, why does it matter, Micah, that a student sends their advisor an email that doesn't look right? It looks like a text message. Well, honestly, does it matter a whole lot if they send it to me? Not too much, except a lot of times I'm your first reference for jobs, for internships, for education abroad, for scholarships, and one thing they all ask me is, does the student clearly and effectively communicate? And if these are the kind of emails I'm getting, I'd have to say no. And you may be sitting there saying, but Mike, I'm never going to use you as a reference, so I don't care. If you're emailing me this way, you could be emailing faculty this way. I know faculty that won't even respond to an email that looks like this. They'll just click delete. And then finally, but you're like, I'm never going to email faculty or you, so I don't care. I talk to employers when they're hiring their employees, and they've told me so many different situations where they're down to their number one pick. You're their number one pick, and you write them a thank you email, as you should, but it looks like this, and they've immediately gone to their number two person instantly. So again, it could cost you a job. Ability to think critically and solve problems. So here's a list from the 2019 Job Outlook report from NACE. NACE is the National Association of Colleges and Employers, and they put out this list every year. You can go through that and see this list and what's on there. Again, technical skills are on there at number 10. But what I'm saying here is, how are you developing these skills while you're in college and beyond? It's not simple. It's not good enough just to have that degree. You need that bachelor's degree to check a box to be allowed to apply for the job, but you actually want to get the job, so you really want to be developing these skills while you're in college. Just to give you another list to go off of, this is from 2018, the Future of Jobs World Economic Forum, and they have a top 10 skills list too. Very similar to the previous one, maybe just worded a little bit differently for some of these. This is from a 2018 Job Outlook report from NACE. Again, they put one out every year, and it really hasn't changed a whole lot over the past several decades now. But if you look at this, this is great because it shows how proficient high school students, or graduating college students thought they were in the top 5 skills, and then also how the actual people that hired them, how good they thought they were. So if you look at the bottom on work ethic and professionalism, almost 90% of graduating seniors rated themselves as that good at work ethic and professionalism, that they show up on time, they know how to talk to the customers, right? They do all these good things. But in reality, only 43% is how the employers actually rated them. So, right, so we're giving ourselves higher ratings than we actually have. And the main reason I show this is to show that we always need to be constantly working and improving those skills. And this is what they said. Internships, internships, internships are such an important part of it. If you can get an internship, do it. It's never too soon to start applying for internships. I have students coming into UConn that have done an internship the summer before. This summer is, I know, a bit challenging over other summers. But again, always applying to the internships. And then I've been working since I was 14. I couldn't afford to do an internship, especially an unpaid one. But having that consistent job can be just as good too, again, because now you have this employer that can vouch for those transferable skills, that you do actually have good work ethic, you show up on time, you're great with the customers, and so on. Next question. According to a 2017 report by Dell, what percentage of the jobs that will exist in 2030 haven't even been invented yet? They don't exist. Right? We're not talking that far off from the future here, especially by the time you all graduate college. Okay, do you have an answer? Here we go. Let's see if you're right. Did anyone get it correct? Maybe one or two of you? Maybe. So 85%. So think about that, right? 85% of the jobs haven't even been invented yet. So how do you pick a major based on a career that doesn't exist? Well, you can't, right? Now here's careers that exist now, but the majors, most universities, I should say, don't even have a major that is a social media manager. But think about this, how many companies have social media managers? Almost all of them that want to be relevant. Mobile app developer, right? Another big career out there. But again, most universities do not have a major on this. So how are you getting these careers? You got to think about what transferable skills they want to see, because they're just asking for a bachelor's degree, but then they want to see some skills. So think about what skills would be required for mobile app developer or social media manager, right? And you got to imagine that if you're in either of these professions, sending an email that doesn't look 100% accurate is going to be a clear indicator that you don't pay attention to detail, and they're not going to want to hire you. Here's jobs that they say will exist: robot counselor, 3D printing, home repair, right? These are things they're doing with 3D printing now. Edible candy in the top left, right? An ear, an appendage that they put on in the top right. In the bottom right, that's a new prosthetic that's stronger, lighter, more comfortable to wear. And in the bottom left, that was the bald eagle that someone actually tried to kill. And they shot at it, and it shot the beak off. And if you can see, they actually 3D printed a new beak for the eagle so it could survive. And here's what they said from this Dell report. The ability to gain new knowledge will be more valuable than knowledge itself, right? So it's not simply about getting the degree and getting out. How fast, how can you pivot? How can you take on new information? Are you a quick learner? Because as things are changing, as different careers come and go, right? How can you quickly adjust to the new work environment that exists out there? And what if your career that you thought was so relevant when you were in college doesn't even exist because they don't need it anymore? How are you going to get a new job, right? So that ability to gain new knowledge, how quick are you down that learning curve, and how have you developed those transferable skills? So again, in most cases, I'll be very careful here, in most cases, your major does not equal your career. I don't want you to come to me and say, Micah, I got a history degree and I applied to become a pharmacist. Why didn't I get that job? Because we don't want you messing with our prescriptions, right? There are certain careers out there that you need specific education for. But I'm talking about for the vast majority of careers out there today, they do not care what your major is. I know you are far off from graduate school, but I think that this comes up a lot because I hear students saying, well, I need to pick this certain major to go into this graduate school. So if we're talking about doctors, lawyers, going on to more business, any of these things. So here's the first question. Which majors currently have the highest medical school acceptance rates? Math, statistics, social sciences, biological sciences, humanities. I know these questions are getting tough, and hopefully not feeling too demoralized yet with getting some of these answers wrong. Okay, and here it is. The answer is A, math statistics. Oh, maybe two of you got this right, maybe not. We'll see. So here's what the breakdown is in the highest acceptance rates. Again, I don't want you to take away the message that I'm saying biological sciences is a bad major. What I am saying is that if you're going to choose biological sciences, choose it because you're interested in it, not because you want to go to med school. Right? And here, just to show, these are the applicants. So statistically, math statistics actually had a higher rate to likelihood to get in because there's less of them to begin with. But I want to be really clear here on this. This is directly copy and pasted from the Harvard Medical School admissions page. No preference is given based on your major. They don't care what the concentration was in undergraduate year. But here's what they do want: a balanced liberal education, right? What have you gotten out of your experience? How have you balanced it? How have you done other things? How have you grown and challenged yourself? How have you fallen down and picked yourself back up? How have you learned about other people besides yourself that look different, that act different, that were raised differently? Because you're going to be interacting with them. And if you don't know how to do that because you don't know who they are, that's going to be a problem. And it's going to make you very ineffective as a doctor or in any field that exists out there. Here's another one. What percentage of UPenn, University of Pennsylvania, MBA, Masters of Business class of 2020 hold undergraduate degrees in business? This is the #1 business program, a master's business program in the country right now. So the current class of 2020, how many of them hold undergraduate degrees in business? Right? So they're picking the best of the best for this master's in business program. Okay, let's see if you got this right. I'm going to say none of you got this right. Maybe one or two of you did again. But think about this again. Look. So this is the percentages. Now, I'm not saying business is a bad major, but again, you got to put yourself in their perspective. They want to bring the best of the best for this program. And if you were to say, but Micah, only business students are the best of the best, then you're missing a big portion of students that are amazing as well. Right? So I don't put one major above all the other majors on UConn's campus. We have amazing students graduating from every single major on our campus every single year, not just in one major or another. And so if you want to bring in the best as an employer or as a graduate program, you're not going to base it on major. You're going to base it on who is the best and what does best mean to you? What are the qualifications are you looking for? So again, in most cases, your major does not matter for graduate school. Okay, one more question, right? Well, we didn't wager anything on this, and you normally play a game with y'all, right? But no points to wager on this one. According to a 2016 study by EAB, students have higher graduation rates when they declare their final major when? When do you need to declare your major, your final major, so you don't change it after this? This is the major you graduate with. Okay, let's see who got this right. Got a drum roll going. Yes, during the 5th semester. Did anyone get that right? So this is the start of your junior year. All right, and again, we can look at percentages just to prove that I'm not making this up. Right, so it goes up 6%. That's thousands of students around the country. That's a big deal. So again, I'm not saying you can't have your major declared when you come in, but I'm also letting you know you have time to take a deep breath. You should start exploring now, but continue exploring when you get into college to make sure it's the right fit for you. And yes, you can still graduate in 4 years. In most cases, again, if you're changing from an engineering major your junior year to an art major, it's not going to be done in 4 years, and vice versa. It also will not be done in four years. But for most cases, you can wait and still be on track and graduate in 4 years. But here's what they said in the study. Students who take the time to explore are most likely to choose a major that aligns with their interests. So your interests, not your parents, not your guidance counselor, not your advisor, you. And that's the key to this. So please take the time to explore. And I have one final thing for you. Now, I want you to imagine that your caregivers they buy their first smartphone ever for themselves, and it's an iPhone 11 Pro, whatever the newest thing is. And you're like, cool, let me show you how to download apps, get online. And they're like, no, I just want to use this new iPhone 11 to make phone calls, and that's it. You probably look at them cross-eyed and say, give me that phone, I'll show you how it's supposed to be treated, right? But that's what I see students coming into University of Connecticut doing. They treat it like a flip phone and not like an iPhone 11 Pro, right? So they're not going to their advisor, they're not doing study abroad, they're not getting involved in undergraduate research, joining clubs, joining organizations, and ultimately growing their transferable skills. So please get out there and explore. This world is an adventure. We have this one life to make the most of it. So make the most of it, create change out there for the better. Thank you so much, everyone, and have a great day.